From the firing line to the front lines, you ever have one of those days where you walk onto a firing range just looking to get your job done, and before you know it, you're neck deep in a storm that's got nothing to do with bullets and everything to do with proving who you are? Yeah, that happened to me at Coronado. Let me back up a sec. See, I was just finishing a string of rapid fire, M4 bucking just a little left, enough to bug me, not enough for anyone else to notice. But there's always someone watching, right? And that day, it was Chief Harlan. Legend. 6 deployments, Silver Star, the kind of guy you expect to show up in recruitment posters. He calls out my name, his voice carrying over the sound of brass hitting concrete like he owns the place. And honestly, maybe he does. The sun was burning through my blouse, and I'm standing there sweating, thinking about the buffer spring that's giving me grief. He comes up, checks my shot group, and next thing I know, he's asking about my rifle like it's a wounded animal. Not talking down, not assuming I'm just some army chick in the wrong place. Real curiosity. I break the weapon down in front of him, hands moving like I've been doing it since grade school, which, by the way, isn't far from the truth. My old man started me on armorer drills before most kids could ride a bike. Chief Harlan's watching, quiet as a church. And when I finish, he just mutters, "Jesus Christ, where'd you learn that?" So I tell him the truth. Grew up in it. Lived and breathed it. Could rebuild a NATO rifle blindfolded by 15. You know what I mean. He smiles, not the condescending kind, but the kind that says, "Okay, maybe you do belong here." That was the first domino. Coronado wasn't exactly home, but it was familiar enough. The smell of gun oil and cleaning solvent, the low buzz of SEALs pushing themselves past the breaking point. I'd been at this joint training for weeks, working both Army Rangers and SEAL gear, sleeping too little, always one bad malfunction away from getting the side eye from someone in command. I was used to that, though. Comes with the territory when you're a woman, Army, and young. Walking into a room full of special ops guys who've already got stories etched into their faces. What no one knew, what I didn't even realize, was that I was about to get the kind of shot at proving myself you can't fake. Harlan pulls me aside after a morning spent wrangling with HK416s and M249s that look like they've seen 3 wars. He's been reviewing weapon malfunction rates, and they've dropped dramatically since I showed up. He's got the data to back it up. And for a second, I feel that spark of pride. We start talking about maintenance routines, how special operations weapons don't play by the same rules as conventional ones, match ammo, high volume, extreme temps, and he's actually listening. He lays out a proposition. Be the dedicated armorer for their upcoming exercise. 3 weeks of combat scenarios, full integration with the team, not just cleaning guns, but optimizing for each mission, even giving tactical input. I gotta admit, I was hooked. It was everything I'd been working toward: recognition, respect, a chance to operate at the top level. Harlan tells me he already cleared it with my command major. Says it's good for inter-service cooperation, a political win for everyone. I show up at the team briefing, eyes on me, and he introduces me to the squad. Spectre, the comms guy and sniper with a 1,000-yard stare. Boulder, their heavy weapons guy, built like a brick wall, but sharp as hell. Blade, their medic and point man. Hammer, the breacher. Shadow, the tech kid. Cobra, sniper and recon. And Donovan, the senior chief, old school, all steel and gravel. These guys look like they could tear me apart for fun. But instead, there's this grudging curiosity. We start breaking down the mission profile. CQB, recon, hostage rescue. I show them different weapon configs, different ammo loads, even bring out test data on suppressors and variable optics. I'm getting questions from all sides, real ones, not just to test the new kid. We're talking details, how different barrels behave after 200 rounds in 110-degree heat, how to swap out triggers in the field, even what kind of lube holds up when the desert decides to cook your rifle. That's when the team starts realizing I'm not just here to hand out gear. I'm here to keep them alive, mission after mission. There's this twist that caught me off guard. Donovan pulls me aside after the briefing. Tells me straight up, if you're going to be part of this team, it's not about following orders. It's about thinking critically, speaking up when you see something wrong, being accountable the way we are for each other. He's testing me, but also inviting me in. It's not about rank, it's about trust. I walk out of there with my head spinning, feeling that weight pressure. Yeah, but also the real shot at something bigger than myself. The next week is a blur, prepping every weapon system, consulting with each operator one-on-one. Spectre needs 3 rifle setups. Boulder's M249 has a worn barrel, I swap it out. Cobra's sniper rifle gets a custom-tuned trigger group. I start hearing whispers quiet, but they're there. She knows her stuff. She's not just some army armorer, but there's still pushback. Boulder and Hammerite catch them talking about whether I can actually hang with SEALs. Instead of letting it stew, I call Boulder out. He's blunt, says SEAL teams push their weapons harder than anyone, and they can't afford failures. I break down exactly what I found: wear patterns, stress fractures, what would have failed mid-mission if I hadn't intervened. He studies the old parts, goes quiet, then just nods and shakes my hand. That moment, that's when I know I'm in. But the real test is coming. The exercise isn't just another run-through, it's been upgraded to a formal evaluation with senior leadership watching, career trajectories on the line, whispers of classified deployments if we impress. Suddenly, every detail matters. Harlan is upfront with me. No mistakes. You're auditioning for something that could define your career. I spend nights double-checking every bolt, prepping emergency kits, even running failure drills in my head. The first mission is a 48-hour recon op heat, dust storms, 0 resupply. I anticipate magazine failures from thermal contraction, swap them out in advance. And sure enough, Spectre radios in with a feeding issue. Quick fix, right on cue, and the mission goes off without a hitch. But then comes the day where everything goes sideways. Direct action raid, full contact, and suddenly I'm getting radio calls. Multiple weapons down, rapid-fire malfunctions, optics fogged. It's every armorer's nightmare. I piece it together: dust contamination from a storm. Exactly the scenario I prepped for. I talk the team through field repairs, step by step, while they're taking no margin for error. Weapons come back online. They finish the mission, and Harlan radios me. Outstanding work. That's exactly what we needed. I'm wiped, but adrenaline's still pumping. It isn't just about fixing metal and springs, it's about keeping these guys alive when everything's on the line. Pretty soon, other teams are calling. Marine recon snipers with accuracy issues, Army Rangers with machine gun jams. I'm troubleshooting for half the exercise now, operating out of a Humvee converted into a rolling armory, and learning fast that sometimes the only thing standing between mission success and total disaster is someone who's done the homework. The final scenario is the killer, hostage rescue operation, and everything that could go wrong does. Alpha Team's gear goes down hard. Breach charges fail. Primary weapons jam. Comms cut out. I argue my way into the hot zone. I'm Ranger qualified. I can handle it. I tell Control, and Harlan backs my play. 5 minutes. Emergency kit. Hands moving faster than my brain. We're under simulated fire, noise everywhere, but I get Alpha Team's gear back online just in time. They breach, rescue the hostages, and when it's all over, I'm sitting there, heart pounding, knowing I just saved the exercise from falling apart. After action review comes, and the big dogs show up: Admiral Reynolds, top brass from every branch. She singles me out. You kept the teams in the fight. You're being promoted and assigned to classified special operations within 60 days. I shake her hand, and for a second, the whole room feels smaller. Harlan and Donovan tell me I've set a new standard, and I'm family now. Spectre, Boulder, Blade, Hammer all gather around, welcoming me in a way that matters more than any medal. Captain Lawson hands me my orders, and all she says is, "You'll be working with the most elite personnel in the military. You'll be briefed when you arrive." I'm grinning, hands shaking, ready to go. Cut to 4 months later, and I'm stepping off a Black Hawk in some mountain hellscape, where the weather and terrain eat gear for breakfast. I become the senior technical specialist for a joint task force, writing new maintenance protocols for conditions nobody thought possible, pulling all-nighters to keep the guys running. I get an encrypted message from Harlan. "Proud of you, Elena. Go show them how it's done." I text back, "Thanks for believing." Learning every day. I'm living proof that sometimes the most extraordinary chapters of your life start with the most routine assignment, that showing up and doing the work can open doors you didn't even know existed. You want to know what matters out here? It's not the patches or the ribbons or the handshakes from brass. It's the look in your teammates' eyes when they know you've got their backs, no matter what. It's the trust built bolt by bolt, moment by moment, that can turn an outsider into a crucial member of the family. And if you ask me, that's what justice looks like, not who's got the fanciest title, but who's there when everything goes wrong and still finds a way to make it right. So what about you? Do you think trust and competence should matter more than rank or tradition, especially when lives are on the line? Is it the outsider who brings new solutions or the old guard who's seen it all? I want to hear your take. Drop your thoughts below. What's your line between good enough and exceptional in your world? Because out here, sometimes the smallest details make the biggest difference. And sometimes you only get one shot to prove you belong. Like this story? Share it with someone who'd get it. Let's argue. Let's debate. Because the line between ordinary and extraordinary is thinner than you think. And sometimes all it takes is someone willing to step up and say, yeah, I can fix that.